Well, family, as a content creator and an 80-year-old citizen who went through similar a lot of this in the 60s. And family, I'm going to be telling you more and more about my background as we go through perusing the news. But I would tell you this, even back in the 60s, the FBI doesn't always play nice. In fact, they do some dirty stuff at at times. With Don Lemons, right now, he need a fund chest. He gonna need monies. His attorney is gonna be very expensive. But more than that, the security, not only of himself, but family. His family and loved ones gonna need uh, security and protection. I can tell you that personally. When I was in the movement in the struggle in the 60s, not only was I prosecuted and attacked personally, they went after my mother, who was a Christian and had children, to force me to leave my home state of Louisiana. I'll leave that right there for now. Because I'll be honest with you, right now, I'm a little afraid of what I said as a content creator. It doesn't seem to matter how big or how small you are. If you offend this administration, he, they will come after you to make an example out of you. And that's the purpose, among others, for going after Don Lemon. I had trepidation and did some videos saying that Don Lemon needs to watch his ass. Don Lemon basically is a square who did everything that the system told him to do, i.e., go to school, stay out of trouble. And I don't think he really know a lot about the real world. Hadn't really been exposed to what we call the street and reality out here in the real world. For instance, right now, for those of you who've never been arrested, it's the most dehumidifying or dehumidifying, the most humiliating thing you can ever have to go through. For instance, just using the toilet, family, in most jails, the toilet is just sitting in the middle of the floor with no lid, and you got to use that toilet. You got to use that toilet if you got to go are in there in front of everybody. And I'm not sure the government's giving Don any protection. In fact, I fear just the opposite. So if you're in a holding pen, you could be in there with all kind of people, drunk people, drug people, violent people, and it could get violent. For instance, kind of related to what's going on is Epstein. What happened to him? We still don't know. So Don is in danger as long as you're in their custody. So his lawyer, the media, everybody needs to keep eyes on Don Lemon. Also, his family. You, look after his family. You guys need to stay in church and form some type of security. So, family, let's see if we can uh, look at some news items. Hope you can see this. Let's just see how they are breaking it down. Journalist Don Lemon and Georgia Ford, heck of a name, taken into custody after Minnesota church protests. Two independently journalists arrested in connection with a protest. Boy, they laid in wait for Don. Lemon and Ford was live streaming. Uh, you can get the video of what happened in the church. Don has been a journalist for 30 some years. Most of us know who Don is, and I've been commending myself for the great job that Don has been doing in broadcasting the news. Perhaps too big a job. Family, as small as content creator as I am, trust me, family. I don't want the smoke. I don't want the heat. As I said, I went through that. I'm 80 years young and old. I went through that in the 60s. I don't want the smoke. I don't want the heat. I know how this government can get. Uh, uh, those of you familiar with COINTELPRO. Uh, so family. Uh, My heart goes out to Don. Let's keep our eyes on Don. Had to jump on and comment and react in live time. Going to get off now because I want to get back later and tell you about some of the charges. I did some legal research. I think he's charged with 18 USC 241. I think that statute, I'm going to get back to it if I have to be exact. I think that statute carry up to 10 years, family. And even more depending on whether there is any type of violence, I think, injury that occurred. So, family, it's no telling what this administration has lined up to make an example out of Don Lemon. Okay, here's what I'm looking for. Uh, right quick, family. But we'll get back with you on as I go into the statutes and grand jury, the procedures they use to indict Don Lemon. So thanks for listening, family. You see my number. If you have any particular questions you want me to delve into deeper, I certainly will. Because, family, this is a story that's important for everybody in the country. Family, if we don't have speech, what do we have, family? Come on. What do we have if we can't have speech and we can't have journalists, the media, the fourth estate of government? You need reporters, content creators. We need sources other than traditional sources to get the news and word. So thanks a million, family. I'm a little distressed here. We will be back as I continue to follow this story. And if you got legal questions about it, I think this is where I'll be a little different with my background and research ability to answer those questions, particularly the grand jury. We're going to talk about that in future videos. Thanks a million. And if you got other legal questions, consumer questions, remember, I'm your best answer, not your only answer, but your best answer. Dial me up. Let's see if I can help you.